Anime and manga artists fail because they fail to recognize these three things. Number one is that novel AI is your number one competitor, but it's definitely not perfect, y'all, and I'm going to show you how to expose every single one of its weaknesses. Number two, they tend to burn out the fastest out of any other art style out there because they just don't use good strategies a lot of the time. And that's because of, especially number three, is that they generally think that because they use a minimalistic style, that they therefore should charge minimal pricing. So how do you move past this? Welcome back to the Art Mentor. My name is Sean. So today you're gonna see 5 of my community members that submitted their artwork for me because they believe that they have greater potential than what they're currently getting, and I agree too. And if you wanna learn how to progress what you're currently doing, here's how. Our first brave volunteer today is gonna be Jorge-Sama. So you can find them over on Twitter. Definitely give them a like and a follow. For the genre, Jorge, you like to do fantasy style artwork and you've been taking commissions for around a year. And so far you've gotten 11. Man, that's what's up. That's really good there. I see your price range is pretty large, anywhere between $30 to $170. That's a big gap. And when I asked you, what's your biggest difficulty right now, you told me to get customers consistently, and some months you get 2 to 3, and some months you don't get any. First off, on pricing, my friend, you are way better than $30, okay? $50 is a respectable amount to start off with, okay? If you took 30 bucks, you can do it once or twice, but then abandon it because you deserve a lot more than that, my friend. 50 bucks is the base I want you to remember from now on. Moving on to strategy. As I look across all of these different examples, they're all very lovely, my friend, okay? However, though, I don't see a really big screaming fantasy scene across all of these, okay? They almost look like slice of life a little bit too much because I see a whole lot of uniforms happening here, as you see on screen too. My friend, I would definitely make sure that you include some more stereotypical fantasy style artwork in here. I'm talking mages, I'm talking knights, I'm talking rogues, I'm talking archers, like some elves and stuff like that. Like if I was a client, if I was looking at this, I wouldn't really know exactly what you do, my friend. And that's gonna decrease your base price. That's why you're getting 30 bucks instead of you getting like 75 to 100 bucks at your base, okay? That's what I would do for you. You gotta alter your strategy to attract the clients that you want. Next from there, let's talk about technicalities on here. Start to color your line art. This is a really cool, popular thing to do. You're gonna notice in a lot of anime now that they're not just black lines, okay? Start to color them like reds and purples and oranges. Start to infuse color into that because it's really gonna level up. It's gonna produce next level anime artwork for you, and it's gonna be something that clients are very attracted to. Have you noticed this before? Aside from that too, I think that you could definitely benefit from using a little bit more mood lighting in your coloring phases here too, like you introducing not just native skin tones into your anime style art, but I would also integrate like some more blues, some more purples, some more reds. Like give me some sense of just overall mood. Like with this character right here, with this mage character, like she's really embarrassed. I think that you could definitely use color a little bit more strategically to emphasize that component of it, like I'm showing you right here. So Jorge, check it out. I was actually looking at your Twitter and I noticed that you started to do Genshin Impact artwork. Y'all, MMORPGs, one of the best genres to get into right now. It's always hot, it's always hopping, it's always a great field and market for anime styled artists, just like you. An easy thing that you can do, my friend, too, go ahead and put these into some locations, my friend. Polish up your background skills, start to polish up your landscape skills. Show me these characters in a setting in the game, and you are definitely gonna fetch yourself way higher price tag. Y'all, I want you to be able to get closer to, if not exactly on the high end of your budget all the time. Doing things like this is definitely gonna next level your stuff. And Jorge-Sama, I hope that you can apply this and then you can start to kill it even more than this. Next artist we're gonna look at today is Madraws. You can find them over on Twitter, and y'all really check out this artist because their work is really, really nice. Check this out, lovely. So your genre that you said is any requested by the customer. We gotta talk about that. You've been taking commissions for about a year and you've done 84. You've done 84 artworks this year? Okay. I think I know where we're going with this one. And your price is $20 to $50. What? Ma, what's up? Man, if you're doing 84 artworks in a year, I'd rather see you do 20 of them and charge triple what you're charging right now. Ma, right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, man, you need to bump your stuff. And just to support that, my friend, y'all check out this amazing artwork. This is way too good. Like, look at this one. If you don't charge $150 at base for something like this, you and I are gonna have problems, my friend. You gotta go ahead and you have to start to charge way more. And here's how you're gonna do it, my friend. As I look across your portfolio, I'm gonna tell you this. You have a lot of options that you can do, but if you were, and just hear me out right now, if you were to go ahead and narrow down on one specific genre, here's how life-changing this would be, and think about this, my friend. If you did this, you could easily charge $150 to $300 base price. Boom, that's right, I said that. Because you are relying, or if any anime artists watching this right now, if y'all are relying on a client to just come to you with anything, this then puts you in the place where you don't appear like a specialist, and therefore you don't have a higher perceived value, which you absolutely do, my friend. Take a look at my video down below on popular art niches if you're struggling with this right now. For you, or anyone watching this, it's really gonna help you out. Great stuff here, and I see you doing great things in the future. Y'all, I'm having so much fun helping you. If you could please help me back and help more people see this video, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and the little bell too, so you can get notified every single time I push out content like this, as I want to help you as much as possible because y'all deserve it. Let's keep going. Next up, we've got Tsuykun. Did I say that right? You can follow them over here on Instagram, and they've got some really lovely stuff here. You said that you like to do fantasy and dark fantasy. You've been taking on commissions for about a year, starting in January. So yeah, about a solid year ago. And you've done 30 so far? Man, that's great. That must feel really good for you right now. And your base price is $40. Just to make sure y'all were listening right here, too cheap. Nope. Not gonna do it. So Tsuykun has a really common concern that I'm gonna share with y'all. Tsuykun tells me that their biggest difficulty right now is finding new clients. And they've been working with a single client, but they're afraid to raise their price tag because they might lose that client. Are you feeling this way too? My friend, I just want to tell you this. You cannot operate from a scarcity mindset, thinking that there's not enough, that it's too saturated, there's not enough people out there, there's a recession. None of this stuff matters, y'all. There's always people with money out there. You just have to know how to attract them. So here's what I'm going to recommend to you, my friend. When I take a look across your entire portfolio, like let's take a look at this girl in particular. I would say that there's two things that I would work on with you. And I'm going to notice this across your entire portfolio. There's a few issues with proportions that I'd like you to fix. So I'm going to go ahead and judge up a few things right now. First off, I'm going to go ahead and hit that chin. I think that sticks out a little bit too much. Her eye should be a little bit more at an angle. And then also her chest, we've got one side of the chest going up and one side going down, and it should be the opposite way because of how the body turns. There's some natural anatomical issues right there, and that's really what I'm looking at so far. Here's another big thing for y'all. Anybody that wants to get into fantasy or dark fantasy, you need to get really great with details. Check it out. Here's my reference folder that I literally use whenever I draw fantasy characters, and this is an ever expanding folder that I have. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and get references for literally any part of armor or plating, and this way, any type of belts and things like that too. This way, I can go ahead and I can just grab them and I can complexify it. So when I look across your characters, I think that they're a little simplistic. Y'all that are anime artists, hear me out. You gotta make sure that you're still using references. Don't just rely on things that are in your brain. Go ahead and see what's out there and integrate that into your style, okay? On another note, let's take a look at this gal right here. This is a very nice, lovely piece. That background, my friend, I think it would look so much better without it. Y'all, if you're thinking about doing like soft pastel-y backgrounds that are just all blurry, just don't, all right? Tsuykun, I think you're doing a great job, my friend. And the fact that you're able to get that many artworks in such a short period of time really tells me that you are so much more valuable than you think you are. And if anyone's watching this, y'all please do the same thing, all right? Because I believe in you so much and I know that you can do it. You just got to tweak a few things. It's going to help you out majorly. Now let's take a look at Cosmeep Art, who is brand new to this scene. So looking at Cosmeep, they like to do fantasy and game art, and they haven't started taking commissions yet. So they don't have anything to judge themselves by. I'm gonna help you out with that. And they're thinking about their overall price range of $20 to $35 for a full render commission. Their biggest difficulty that they're facing right now is that they're struggling on getting started in their pricing. Because the minimum wage in their country is about $10, and they were thinking about setting their prices at about $20 to $35 based on other sources. The biggest thing that I want y'all to really understand is that if you're thinking of yourself geographically, stop. There is definitely a global standard for what art is, and $20, $35 ain't gonna cut it. Because my friend, if you can sustain yourself off of $20, $35, or if that's at least a significant side hustle income for you, what would $50 do? What would $100 do? What would $200 do? Let's talk about how we're gonna get there. Cosmeep, I would encourage you to continue to do more stuff like this. However, though, I do want to point out your background, okay? I think that it is just entirely too symmetrical, like same thing going on side to side. As we start to go back, it just starts to become less taken care of. Like I can literally see where your marks just trailed off. Now, but if you're not confident in doing that, don't put yourself out there with it. It would be better for you just to focus all of your efforts onto your character, which is looking pretty cool. The only thing I'm gonna tell you is that I think that your line art is way too thick. And then when I take a look at your other two artworks here, I'm gonna say that I'm not really sure why anybody would look at this and think that you do fantasy style artwork. Just because you have a mouse-esque character here doesn't mean that anybody is gonna say, oh cool, can you draw my big bulky knight? Like that's not gonna happen. Remember that, y'all. You wanna make sure that your portfolio attracts the client, because every single artwork that you put out there is literally a magnet for the client that you wanna do. So my friend, here's my pricing strategy for you, buddy. I think that first off, you need to go ahead and you need to make at least 3 artworks. All right, you can't just rely on 1 or 2 artworks, and they have to be all similarly styled within the same genre. So once you have that, then go ahead and start yourself off at $50. That's right, you heard me, $50. I know I'm like doubling exactly what you said you wanted to do, but it's necessary. It's not the end goal, it is a starting point for you, but start it out there, and then every single one after that, after you get your second one, go ahead and bump up your pricing like $5 to $15 every single time that you get another client, because then you're gonna quickly be able to assemble a really good quality client database, and then you can draw from them all the time. Get started because you definitely got great potential and I believe in you. Now we're gonna take a look at Xorsama, which you can go ahead and follow them on Instagram. Got some really cool stuff. So they're really interested in fantasy style artwork. They've been doing artworks for a few months, and so far they've received about 4 to 5, that's good. And their overall price range is $30 to $40. Again, I think we're getting a little too cheap on that one. And they say that their biggest difficulty right now is that they can only post once a week on Reddit. If you're going to the same Discord server, or if you're overall just posting your stuff anywhere on the internet, once a week is really all that you need to do, my friend. What you need to do is also take a look at when you're posting, okay? So think about when the best time is gonna be that the most clients in your genre are gonna be available. Now, obviously, as I take a look at both what you've submitted to me and your stuff on Instagram here, you clearly like fantasy, okay? All right, so first off, when I really get into your artworks and I zoom in like this, okay? Here's what I can tell you. You're working in way too small of a canvas. Like this is ridiculously small because you've got this huge, ultra clunky, thick line art, okay? Some people are gonna like this. I'm gonna say that some people are gonna be turned off by this because when you start to really zoom into that, the crispness really goes away, and I hope you see that too. To help you out with this, my friend, here's the basic canvas size you should be working with. You should, at the minimum, be working on a canvas that is at least 3,000 to 4,000 pixels. Not inches, not millimeters, nothing like that. Pixels, my friend, because your pixels are blurring a lot when I get in here, okay? The next level thing that I would start to do, dude, is I would definitely get into you starting to work on adding a little bit more contrast into your rendering, okay? So just as I kind of fixed up this character right here, I want you to notice how I'm gonna use a lot more saturated and desaturated tones, and I'm also gonna go ahead and use some darker tones too in order to really liven up this character so that from a distance, it's gonna be more legible. You're also gonna see me really taking away a lot of that thick line art accent here so that your character actually shows through. If you start to do this, my friend, I promise you it's gonna attract more people, okay? So if you make these alterations, my friend, I think you're definitely gonna get there, and this is gonna be really helpful for you. Now, if you're also an anime or stylized artist out there, definitely make sure you check out this tutorial right here where I'm gonna go over a whole bunch of really awesome tips and techniques to help you level up your stuff. Go ahead and check it out.